Sodexo is committed to providing and maintaining a workplace free of harassment. Because sexual harassment in the workplace is a violation of the law in the U.S. and Canada, we strictly enforce our policy prohibiting sexual harassment of any kind. Our policy applies to everyone, employees, vendors, and customers alike. We have procedures in place for making a sexual harassment complaint and other policies that prohibit retaliation against anyone who makes a complaint or assists in its investigation. This training will help you understand the behaviors that may constitute sexual harassment. It will fully explain Sodexo's sexual harassment policy and describe the steps that you should take if you feel that you're being sexually harassed. Sexual harassment is any type of repeated, unwelcome sexual conduct. It may be visual, verbal, or physical. The key point is that it is unwelcome. There are two major types of sexual harassment. The first is when someone in authority requests sexual favors from a subordinate. This request may be linked to getting or keeping a job benefit. Our job benefit may be threatened for refusing to submit to sexual advances. The second kind of sexual harassment occurs when the repeated, unwelcome, inappropriate sexually based behavior of an individual creates an intimidating, offensive, or hostile work environment. This is the type of harassment we will concentrate on in this training. Remember, no matter who is involved, for behavior to constitute sexual harassment, it must be repeated, unwelcome, and sex-based. It doesn't matter whether the harasser intended any harm. If the person affected by the behavior finds it unwelcome, then it can be harassment. The difference between a situation that is sexual harassment and one that isn't can be subtle. To help you understand these differences, we're going to show a number of workplace scenes and let you decide whether or not they constitute sexual harassment. Here's the first one, so watch carefully.
Did you catch that Comedy Channel show last night?
No, Laura was over and we were busy. But I did hear that some of it was pretty good, though.
Oh, yeah, especially this one guy. He went on for like 10 minutes about his girlfriend in the bedroom.
I wish I had seen that.
Yeah, he did this high-pitched voice thing, and he was imitating her being all coy and sexy.
Do you mind?
What? We're just talking.
Well, it makes me uncomfortable, and I don't want to listen to it.
Well, you could have watched it on TV, just like me.
But I chose not to. You guys aren't giving me a choice.
Hey, listen, it's a free country. We can say what we want. If you don't like it, don't listen.
I can't help but hear you. And I can't leave because I have work to do.
Oh, come on, lighten up. We're just having some fun. So did you see that hot new babe over at the snack bar? Man, that's what I like.
They're just out of line. There's no place for talk like that at work. I think that kind of comedy is offensive, especially to women. It makes me uncomfortable, even a little scared.
Hey, Darnell and I are just passing the time, having a few laughs. It's not about her, so what's the big deal?
What about freedom of speech and all that? If Tanya doesn't like the conversation, she doesn't have to listen. It's not like we're trying to touch her.
But I do have to listen. That's the problem. I have to be in there with them to do my job. What kind of choice do I have?
Clearly, Sean and Darnell's conversation was not welcomed by Tanya, but it really wasn't directed at her, so could it be sexual harassment? The answer is yes, because it began to create a hostile work environment for Tanya. Every employee is entitled to a workplace where they feel safe. Everyone has the right to be at work without having to listen to language they find offensive or witness actions that make them uncomfortable. Tanya made it clear to Sean and Darnell that she found their behavior offensive, and they made it clear that they had no intention of stopping. At this point, Tanya should complain to her manager about the offensive behavior, which violates our policy prohibiting sexual harassment of any kind. Before we look at another situation, let's take a moment to go over some of the specific behaviors that may, if unwelcome, contribute to a claim of sexual harassment. Keep in mind that every situation is different, and all of the circumstances together, including how severe and how frequent the conduct is, will determine whether or not a particular situation constitutes harassment. Behaviors that may lead to a claim of sexual harassment include sexual advances, whether they involve touching or not, sexual jokes, use of sexual slurs, written or verbal references to sexual conduct, gossip regarding one's own or someone else's sex life, asking someone about their sexual experiences, comments about an individual's sexual orientation, displaying or transmitting sexually suggestive objects, pictures, or cartoons, leering, whistling, suggestive or insulting comments or gestures, brushing against the body, patting, standing too close, use of slang nicknames like honey, sweetie, babe, doll, boy, or girl. Remember, any of these behaviors, if unwelcome and repeated, could lead to a claim of sexual harassment. Now let's take a look at a situation that may seem commonplace. As you watch, consider whether the workplace has any impact on how you feel about what's going on.
Hey, we're really busy out here today. We're almost out of chicken teriyaki.
Be up in a minute, all right?
We're trying to keep up, okay?
You think he's the only one under pressure around here? Hey, Kevin, why the cold shoulder?
Come on, Marcy, I'm busy. And you should be, too.
I'd rather be busy with you.
Look, I told you I don't want to go out with you anymore, and I mean it.
Well, that's what you said the other night, but I know you. You're just playing with me. You know we're good together.
You don't know me. If you did, you know I was serious.
Chicken teriyaki today?
Almost ready.
Come on, tonight's Tony's party. Why don't we go together? I know you want to.
Marcy, please. I already said no. Now leave me alone so I can do my job. I never should have agreed to go out with you in the first place.
Listen up. You wanted to go out with me. Still do.
Yeah, I was interested, but that was then. Now leave me alone or I'm going to file a complaint.
About what?
About you harassing me. Marcy thinks that just because I went out with her, that we're in a relationship or something, and that she can hit on me anytime she wants. Well, she can't. I know my rights, and they include not being harassed at work. I'm trying to do my job, and she's interfering with that. I'm serious about going to my manager if she doesn't back off.
I like Kevin, and I thought he liked me, but now I'm not so sure. If it were me, I'd want the attention. But maybe he really doesn't. And if he's going to go to the boss, well, it's definitely not worth it. I guess I'll think twice next time.
Romantic relationships on the job can lead to all sorts of uncomfortable situations. In fact, romantic relationships between employees who are in some type of supervisory relationship often lead to claims of sexual harassment. For this reason, Sodexo's policy prohibits relationships where one employee has some workplace authority over the other. Even though the employees in this scene were co-workers, their personal relationship became inappropriate when it began to create a hostile work environment for Kevin. Whether Marcy intended to harass him doesn't matter. Her behavior was unwelcome, and Kevin had told her this before. When we return, we'll talk in more detail about Sodexo's policies and the promise of respect and fair treatment. As we've said, sexual harassment is a violation of the law and of company policy. Title VII of the U.S. Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Canadian Human Rights Code all prohibit sexual harassment. In the U.S., the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, better known as the EEOC, and in Canada, the Harassment Board, or HB, are charged with enforcing the law. Our policy ensures that we are in compliance with the law and with EEOC and HB guidelines. Sodexo's policy prohibiting sexual harassment applies to all employees at all levels of the company, as well as to contractors, suppliers, clients, or guests. Any employee who demonstrates any type of unwelcome sexual conduct towards another employee, a customer, or any other person will be subject to constructive counseling up to and including termination of employment. Remember, both men and women can be guilty of sexual harassment. It can occur where the harasser and the victim are of the same or opposite gender. Here's a situation where the participants say, "No harm's intended." What do you think?
Hey, watch this. Hey, lover boy. Let's hear about that hot date.
You talking to me?
You bet. Doris said she saw you out last night with a real looker. What's the story?
The story is none of your business.
Oh, come on, Tony. That was one sexy lady you were with last night. We want details.
I'm sorry, my private life is off limits.
Listen, man. Kiss and tell's the rule, Dad. If you got something going on, you need to share it with your buddies. We need some details.
Yeah, especially with the way my love life's been lately. Stories are all I get.
You guys are making me uncomfortable. I told you, this is none of your business.
Well, aren't you the prude?
Hey, I bet there's nothing really going on. Tony just doesn't want to admit it.
Come on, Tony. Just a few little tidbits for Dora, huh?
I told you before, this kind of talk makes me uncomfortable. And that goes double when it's my life you're prying into.
Well, get used to it, honey, because we don't give up without a fight. Right, Frank?
That's right. We'll find out what's going on sooner or later.
My private life is my own business, not theirs. I can't believe they think they have the right to make me tell them things that are so personal.
We're not doing anything wrong. It's just part of being on a team. We pump each other, get some cheap thrills, helps build morale, you know?
I don't engage in talk like this with anyone, let alone people I work with. How can they work with each other with the things they know?
We don't mean any harm. It's just a way to pass the time and have some fun. But I guess Tony really objects. So maybe we'll have to find somebody else.
Frank and Dora's conduct was definitely a violation of Sodexo's sexual harassment policy. Tony made it clear that Frank and Dora's prying into his personal life was not welcome, but they persisted. By doing so, they turned the workplace into a hostile environment for Tony. Tony, just like anyone who thinks they're the victim of sexual harassment, should promptly report his concerns. He can do this by notifying his manager, his human resources representative, or any other member of company management he's comfortable contacting. Any victim of sexual harassment is urged to come forward. The victim is encouraged to first tell the offender that their behavior is objectionable and will not be tolerated. However, if this is not possible, or if it fails to resolve the situation, then a complaint should be made to a manager. All complaints are taken seriously and investigated fully. The promise of respect and fair treatment outlines the procedures to follow to file a complaint, as well as the response you can expect. Complaints may be filed verbally or in writing with your manager, human resources representative, or any other member of company management. Our policy and the law also prohibit retaliation of any kind against someone who makes a sexual harassment complaint or cooperates in the investigation of a complaint. Engaging in retaliation, just like engaging in harassment, will result in constructive counseling up to and including termination. The Employee Handbook has more information on our policy against sexual harassment. Now here's one final scene that may surprise you a little.
Hey, Gina. Where you been hiding?
I've been here. Guess we've just been on different schedules.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same schedule today. How about a little coffee break with your favorite laundry vendor?
Richard, I'm working here.
Well, I am too, but with all this stuff in my hands, I just can't seem to help bumping into you.
Richard, please stop it.
Oh, come on. Just have a little fun. You're not too old to fool around with a laundry guy now, are you?
Stop it.
Hey, what's going on here? Nothing. Just making a delivery, you know?
Yeah, well, maybe you ought to keep your hands to yourself while you do.
What's it to you? I like Gina.
Yeah, well, you got an odd way of showing it. We don't tolerate that kind of behavior around here.
Whatever you say, man.
See you, cutie.
He's done this before. He's got no business touching me like that. I'm not a toy that's here for him to play with when he comes around. But he doesn't work here, so what can I really do about it?
Hey, I don't mean any harm. I swear, people are so uptight today. You can't even have a little fun without someone threatening to sue you. Everyone just needs to lighten up.
He thinks that because he doesn't work here, he can get away with inappropriate behavior, but that's not the case. The rules and the law apply to everyone, and what Richard is doing to Gina is clearly wrong. She should file a complaint with her manager or with Human Resources.
Harassment can involve coworkers, supervisors, customers, clients, or vendors. Regardless of who initiates the harassment, it's prohibited by law and by our policy. Gina didn't have to tolerate Richard's offensive behavior simply because he was not an employee of our company. As Steve pointed out, the rules and the law apply to everyone. And the protections against negative consequences apply to everyone as well, whether it's Gina making a complaint or Richard cooperating with the investigation. Sodexo values a work environment of dignity, respect, and mutual trust. Sexual harassment has no place in such an environment and will not be tolerated. If you have any doubt about whether your own behavior may be sexual harassment, stop it. Remember, it's the impact of the behavior, not the intent, that matters.